Hey guys, James from the Research Revolution. Look at this. Hemisphere. This is about AT&T spying on Americans. I'm going to cut to this down in the article. Hemisphere isn't a partnership, but rather a product AT&T developed, marketed, and sold at a cost of millions of dollars per year to taxpayers. No warrant is required to make use of the company's massive trove of data, according to AT&T documents. Only a promise of law enforcement not to disclose Hemisphere if an investigation using it becomes public. These new revelations come as the company seeks to acquire Time Warner, and they face a vocal opposition saying the deal would be bad for consumers. Donald Trump told supporters over the weekend he would kill the acquisition if he is elected president. Hillary Clinton has urged regulators to scrutinize the deal. While telecommunication companies are legally obligated to hand over records, AT&T appears to have gone much further to make the enterprise profitable, according to ACLU technology policy analyst Christopher Slogan. Okay, look at this. Companies have to give over the data to law enforcement upon request if they have it, but AT&T doesn't have to data mine its database to help police come up with new numbers to investigate. AT&T has the unique power to extract information from its metadata because it retains so much of it. The company owns more than 3/4 of U.S. land switches and the second largest share of the nation's wireless infrastructure and cell phone tower behind Verizon. AT&T retains its cell tower data going back to July 2008, longer than other providers. Verizon holds records for a year and Sprint 18 months, according to 2011 retention schedule obtained by the Daily Beast. Here, I wanted to show you some of these documents here. We got some dockies here. A statement of work from 2014 shows how hush-hush AT&T wants to keep Hemisphere. So let's blow this up. Look what we got here, guys. Look at this. Okay, hold on. Always going under the guise of drug bust and, you know, drug stuff, even though they're the ones shipping in the drugs. Give me a break. So I'm not going to read all this, but if you guys want to read it, I just wanted to scan this in. What is this here? Just wanted to scan all this intelligence in so you guys could read it. You guys could use the space bar, pause it, read all this intelligence we got going on. And I'll go back to the top and I'll read a little bit more. This is unbelievable. Get all this intelligence in there. So this is way bigger than they're making out. This acquisition is way... Look at this. Alright. Okay. Let's, sorry, guys. Alright. Of course, this is just filled with all kinds of junk. AT&T is spying on Americans for profit. New documents reveal. So, in Victorville, California, sheriff deputies at a corner responded to a motorcyclist report of human remains found outside of a town. They identified the partially bleached skull of a child and later discovered the remains of the McStay family, who had been missing for the past 3 years. Joseph, 40, and his wife, Summer, 43, Ghani, 4, and Joseph Jr., 3, had been bludgeoned to death and buried in shallow graves in the desert. Investigators long suspected Charles Merritt in the family's disappearance, interviewing him days after they went missing. Merritt was McStay's business partner and the last person known to seeing him alive. Merritt has also borrowed $30,000 from McStay to cover a gambling debt. a mutual business partner told police. None of it was enough to make an arrest. Even after the gravesite was discovered and McStay's DNA was found inside Merritt's vehicle, police were far from pinning the quadruple homicide on him until they turned to Project Hemisphere. Hemisphere is a secretive program run by AT&T that searches trillions of calls records and analyzes cellular data to determine where a target is located, with whom he speaks, and potentially why. Okay, having this Project Hemisphere in conjunction with the above the city's Eagle Eye technology, they got it down. They Merritt was in a position to access the cellular telephone tower northeast of McStay family gravesite on February 6, 2010, 2 days after the family disappeared. An affidavit for his girlfriend's call records report Hemisphere finding. Merritt was arrested almost a year to the date after the McStay family's remains were discovered and is awaiting trial for the murders. In 2013, Hemisphere was revealed by the New York Times and described only within a PowerPoint presentation made by the Drug Enforcement Administration. The Times described it as a partnership between AT&T and the U.S. government. The Justice Department said it was an essential and prudently deployed counter-narcotics tool. Give me a break. Yeah, that's one of the things that it could be implemented in, but this is just an overreach by too large of a scale to even put into words. However, AT&T's own documentation, reported here by the Daily Beast for the first time, shows Hemisphere was used far beyond the war on drugs, to include everything from investigations of homicide to Medicaid fraud. Hemisphere isn't a partnership, but rather a product AT&T developed, marketed, and sold at a cost of millions of dollars per year to taxpayers. No warrant is required to make use of the company's massive trove of data. Oh my gosh. I'll leave the link for the article below, guys.